Community Viewpoint with John Pollock and Maria Hurst.
And welcome to another edition of Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pollock, your host for today, and we have the good fortune to have with us today Beth Bromley, advocate for traumatic brain injury, and this will be our subject matter for the next two segments. You'll know me from working with, I'm a AmeriCorps member. Let's show the emblem there. Cool, okay. So, what we're going to talk about today is basically the civilian side of the issues with traumatic brain injury, but also there is the side that has to do with our military people coming in from the armed services. Traumatic brain injury, it's basically it's concussion with issues after that, not just a plain concussion, but there are issues immediately after that, and throughout your life you may have issues.
Throughout your life.
Now, what I pulled off the internet for the military, it says the TBI, as it's called, traumatic brain injury. Often it's called the signature wound of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, which occurs when sudden trauma or head injury disrupts the function of the brain. Common causes of the TBI damage caused by explosive devices, falls in vehicles, or motorcycle accidents. Most reported TBI among Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom service members and veterans have been traced back to improvised explosive devices, or the IEDs, and used extensively against coalition forces. So we have that issue on the military side, but in fact we have a great deal of it on the civilian side. And Beth here is living proof of TBI because she was injured in accidents. How long ago?
About 32 years ago. Okay. I was 9 years old when it happened.
Okay, and she's going to be instructing us, giving us information on TBI, because this is Traumatic Brain Injury Month. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. The month Brain Injury Awareness Month.
Brain Injury Awareness Month, and that's what the poster behind us is saying. Yeah. But we'll throw that. Right, there it is. So you could find this online. It's very catchy. You could see what the point is, but we'll bring it in the background again, and we'll see Beth back on there. And Beth will be talking about her role in PRT here for an advocate for it, and tell us about your history, the resources, and other things that we want to hear about here.
Okay. First off, brain injury is a non-discriminating disability. It does affect a very large amount of people, stemming from children, athletic, non-athletic, to adults of every profession and lifestyle. More resources that I have is I do the or I have a Facebook page for TBI support. Where am I at?
Yeah, we have a group that's dedicated towards that, like an advisory board.
Yeah, here in Pahrump, there's the Pahrump TBI support group, and we meet every second Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. at Wolfie's. Then I have my Facebook groups, the Disabled Sound Off, the group, and the page, and we talk about
the
resources.
Injuries, the resources.
We give resources for people with the disabilities, and we talk about and we share stories back and forth. So that's a good thing.
So how many people are involved with this group so far? I understand from reading about it. I'm doing a lot of reading because of today's topic. That there's not enough known about it. There's not enough information about it. More information is coming out. We're doing our part here right now. And this is the month to do that. So how many people are involved in Pahrump, do you have?
Well, I'm not really sure. There's a few of us people. Scotty Babb, he runs the disability or the TBI support group here. Okay. They are affiliated with the Nevada community enrichment program, which is an outpatient rehabilitation program. He says that you go down there and you get training from everything you do, from waking up in the morning to talking. Lunchtime is even a rehabilitation thing, and that's what they do down there on an outpatient basis.
Oh, okay. So you meet at Wolfie's, what'd you say, once?
Wolfie's every second Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. at Wolfie's in the banquet room.
Okay. So if you want to get more information other than like myself on the internet, if you want live one-on-one, you can go to the group and talk to them over there and get information on that also, especially if our veterans are watching this too. If you don't go to the VA necessarily, connect with them. You can connect with a local group here in our town and with your neighbors and friends that are that have this issue with them.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would. How did this occur?
Well, when I was 9 years old, I got hit by a car after school, walking home from school by a high school teacher. She was drunk, and I was thrown 10 feet down the road and landed on my head and my shoulder, and I have a scar on my head and a scar on my shoulder where I grew a new collarbone. My old one didn't break, mind you, but I grew a new collarbone because, my brain was sent that. I was
interesting.
In the hospital, they told my parents that I was going to not make it through the night. They didn't know how to drain the blood off of my brain, so they introduced chemicals to drain the blood off my brain. And my mom took me home and began the rehabilitation. So I was in the hospital for only one night. I was in a coma for a month, and so there was a lot of rehabilitation that Mom tells me stories about, walking me down the hall and, dragging my hands along the walls and reintroducing light switches to me and stuff like that. I was very, as she says it, I was crippled. I was in a ball, because of the injury.
So you had to learn almost everything over again. How about speech? How were you?
Speech, when I woke up, I specifically remember waking up from the coma, and my speech was barely but a whisper. And down at this TBI support group, I met a child down there. He's in high school now, that got in a bad motorcycle accident when he was 9 years old. And to see him now is like looking at myself in the mirror. It was kind of spooky. I try to get my parents to talk about it, but it was very traumatical for them as well, for every family member. It was very traumatical for them.
So it's hard for them to speak about it also, because the trauma not only happened to you, but there's a secondary trauma to the loved ones and possibly the EMTs, and depending on the severity of the accident. Yes.
Very, very much so. The post-traumatic stress disorder is
interesting. Yes.
So you don't even have to be injured to suffer post-traumatic stress disorder.
I understand that.
And that's what most of your warriors are coming home with, Wounded Warrior Project and stuff like that.
He put that on there. That's your Get Well card?
Oh, yeah, that's my Get Well card. It was given to me by the heating shop at Davis Mountain Air Force Base. Everybody that my dad worked with designed this card for me, and I had it for years and years, and I'm still collecting signatures on it, so if you want to sign it afterwards, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Has Ryan and Chad signed it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Chad has.
All right, I'll get Ryan to sign it.
Yeah. Anyways, I've also made a traumatic brain injury video last year for Brain Injury Awareness Month, and I plan on making a new one this year. My video discusses, you know, the some of the symptoms and some of the things that you experience and what, you know, we as survivors are going through on a daily basis. And it's put to music, and I published that up on YouTube, and it's gotten over 700 viewers. And this, so
how long is this video?
the video that the promo that I brought in for it today is like 58 seconds long.
Oh, okay.
But the video itself is like 5 minutes, and it has a clip of me on the news last year talking about brain injury awareness and what I was doing with the Brain Injury Alliance of Nevada last year. So the Walk for Thought.
Yeah. So what do we have today to show? The 58-second one?
Yeah, this one right here.
Okay, let's look. Oh, sorry, I was watching it on the screen. So, Beth, tell us what we just watched on the screen, because our mics were off at the time.
Yeah, we were watching the video that I produced for Brain Injury Awareness last month. It is giving facts about how quickly and how easily a brain injury can occur. It also showed pictures of from my car accident, and you know, this where I had laid in the road and where after the accident. It also was telling, you saw some frames of kind of what it's like from my perspective. And when you see this video on YouTube, if you go to YouTube to see it, you will hear some extraordinary, exceptional background music to it. I chose the song Wake Us Up Inside by Evanescence. So it kind of, you know, gives you the feeling of what we survivors are going through, because, you know, it's really like, I know I'm here, but am I? You know, so it's kind of like.
Okay, we're down to 1 minute, so I want to thank you for watching us this segment, and we'll be back in a little bit. I want to mention that for the veterans out there, they're in need of food at the VFW during the rest of the month of March. On Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. till noon, there are bags of food that we can pick up if we're needy veterans. Just, you know, show them your ID and things like that, proof that you live here. But Tuesdays and Thursdays for the rest of the month of March from 10 a.m. till noon. Any veterans that are in need, as long as you can identify yourself as a veteran. So we'll see you later at the second segment, and thank you very much for watching, folks.
Thank you.